Hello, knitters. Alright, so if you're seeing this, that means that I posted it on YouTube. So welcome. This is my new podcast, I think, my new YouTube channel. My name is Collette, and I am a knitter who lives outside of Toronto. And I'm just, this is my second go. The first time I ran through a whole podcast, a whole episode, and forgot to hit record. So that was good practice, and now I'm back to try again. Alright, so I've been knitting for about 4 years, and I taught myself how to knit. I used YouTube videos, and yeah, that's how I learned to knit. So that was pretty cool, but I didn't learn everything, and it's definitely can be a very personal or secluded hobby. So I have joined some knitting groups, or tried to. I just joined the Toronto Knitters Guild, so that's really exciting, and I went to my first meeting with them last Wednesday. That was really cool. What was really cool about it was there were so many knitters, obviously, and it's in kind of this auditorium teaching area at like a university, and it's just like a big theater of knitters. So they leave the lights on so you can knit, and if you stand on the stage where the speakers are and you look up, everyone's just knitting. It's awesome. And my family laughs because I knit in the movie theater, or in the car, or on the train, or on a plane. I knit everywhere. So it was really cool to just see other knitters in the wild. And on the way home on the subway, there were a couple knitters around me too, which was neat. So everyone had their knitting out, and we're like, oh, were you at the Knitting Guild? And yeah, I was there. So that was really cool. And I met a couple new people there. So that was great. I don't have any friends that knit or family that knits. My grandmother, who passed away before I was even born, she was a big knitter, so I hear lots of stories about how she could knit my mother when she would come and visit my dad. She could knit my mom a whole sweater in like a weekend, which is crazy. So maybe I can dig out some of those old items that people have saved and pull those out. And my other grandmother, my other Oma, who she doesn't knit anymore, but apparently she used to be a big knitter too. And whenever she sees me knitting, she always tells me the story about when she was younger and living in Germany. She knit a skirt, a pleated skirt, and then she eventually had to rip it all out. She wore it a couple times, and then she had to rip it all out to re-knit mittens and hats and scarves and a sweater for my Opa. So that's kind of crazy. I think she would fall over if she saw my stash. This is not even all of it. There is more in another room. So I think she would fall over if she saw that, because obviously that was something that she didn't have when she was a younger knitter. She doesn't knit anymore now due to health problems, but she still has sweaters too that she knit herself, and patterns, old patterns, so that's really cool to see. Anyway, yeah, so I unfortunately never got to see any of these people knit, but I guess knitting does run in the family. And I do have one aunt on my dad's side who is a knitter as well. So that's pretty cool. So I guess I'll just show you what I've finished in the last little while. I haven't quite finished it or weaved in the ends, but my cousins have asked for hats, so I've been making my cousins all hats. So I'm really liking this Mawson pattern. My fiber share partner from the summer, she gifted this to me, this pattern, when I said I was making men's hats. So this is made out of Brooklyn Tweed Arbor, and it is beautiful. What I like about this pattern is its ribbing. In plain stockinette stitch, I tend to fall asleep. I love plain stockinette, but knitting on the train or watching TV after a long day, sometimes that plain stockinette is just so relaxing that I doze off. So this ribbing does give me some interest. It also had a bind off that it had a cast on I had never done before, and decreasing for the crown that I had never done before. So I was lucky enough that I had gotten this gifted to me, but I think it's a kind of an expensive pattern, but if you wanted to try something new, it's a pretty cool pattern. I have my dog here who is trying to get his ball. If you want to meet him, this is Bowser. He is an 8-year-old Boston Terrier, and he is a little bit ball crazy. So he's one of 2 dogs that we have. We have another Boston Terrier named Jasper, who is currently watching Star Trek with my boyfriend and looks pretty cozy, so he didn't want to join us. But this is Bowser. You might hear him in the background sometimes. He loves his ball. That's his favorite thing. And I know that because I had him speak to an animal communicator, and she told us that ball is literally his favorite thing. So, yeah, this is Bowser and his ball. He's pretty cute. So the hat. So this is great. So I really like it, and this will be for one of my cousins. And then I made another one this is the Arbor, Brooklyn Tweed Arbor in the color Humpback. Is this nice gray. It's dark charcoal kind of gray. I'm a little bit of a loose knitter, so my boyfriend asked me if I could make him a hat, but he wanted it a little tighter, and these are very stretchy hats. So my cousins have big heads, or some of them do, so these will be great for them. But my boyfriend has a small head, so he's about my size, so that's good. So I've been making him a hat. Same hat in the dark gray, the Humpback colorway, but I used a smaller needle. So I went down a needle size, and I didn't change the stitch count because I was a little bit worried how that would look with the decreases and all that stuff. I'm not quite the most advanced knitter to go too far off of a pattern. That's what I really like about patterns, is someone else did all the hard work and I just have to follow it. So yeah, I'm making the same kind of cool twisted rib. Yeah, and it's a great project for on the subway, in line, anywhere. Not quite a movie theater, but this bag is from the Cozy Knitter. Sometimes she has bags in her shop. She is known for her self-striping, and she is right here in Ontario, so I like that. And she has a podcast with her friend Amanda, who is Yarn Enabler, and they are the Die Another Day podcast. And obviously you're watching them because they are awesome. I have a lot of the Cozy Knitters yarn, so naturally I had to get the bag too. So what else do I have? Let's see. So I'm working on a baby blanket because there's lots of people in our family and friends of ours who have had babies lately. Taking that ball away again. Not sure if you guys can hear that. He likes to suck on his balls. Oh, that didn't sound good. I don't know how to edit yet, but if I could, I would edit that out. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Oops. Yeah, so this pattern, this blanket pattern, is a pattern from Espace Tricot from Melissa Clulow. I think that's how you say her name. I hope so. I'm not sure. This is a free pattern on Ravelry, and it is so cute and sweet. Now, Espace Tricot has kits, so that was great. I got one of those that did all the guessing took away all the guessing, and I actually had a hard time with this pattern when I got it, but thankfully, so many people on Ravelry made notes, and they made notes and corrections, and they were very helpful in all the comments, but I just kept with it and figured it out. Now, the problem I had was being a self-taught knitter, sometimes I'm not watching the right videos, or if someone else is making a mistake, I might pick up on that mistake. And in reading patterns, I think I have always read the yarn over as, and then the stitch after the yarn over, so the yarn over creates a new stitch, and then you knit the next stitch. I had always counted those two stitches together, but really they're their own stitches. So that's where in the pattern I was making mistakes. But I figured it out with people explaining the yarn over, and those people had said, like, yeah, that's your mistake. So cool, figured it out. It's a beautiful pattern, and I will probably make a bigger version for an adult. I have some yarn from Michael's, some Karen cakes, a blanket. My boyfriend would love to have a blanket. But you know what? Baby blankets are just so much easier and faster, so that's what I've been making. One day we'll have a blanket though. Yeah, so this is how far I've gotten so far. Got some ends here, some colors, and yeah, it's a beautiful kit. I actually did modify this pattern a little bit and created a border on the edge, just a knitted border. And I added one more of these panels. So I'm not sure if, and it looks like I made a mistake. Have a bit of a hole there. I might have to mend that later. Yeah, so it's a good pattern. Hopefully I'll have enough yarn with the kit for the extra inches I've added onto the blanket. I feel like it's made it a perfect size now for the perfect like width for a baby growing into a toddler. I might have to order more yarn, or maybe I can just make it a short and fat blanket. That'd be cool too. I did ask Espace Tricot when they sent me my yarn to cake it, so that was great because I don't have a ball winder. So they caked, 5 skeins of yarn for me, which was amazing before they sent it. That was really good. The only thing about this pattern is it is in Blue Sky alpaca worsted cotton, which is not a superwash yarn. So I will probably make this again for another baby, but I'm not sure. I did buy the kit for another blanket, and I might just swap it out for either the same yarn, the Blue Sky, in their superwash, or a Cascade 220 maybe, or something that's superwash but worsted weight. I'm sure I will find something. It will not be hard to find, but that might just be easier for the next baby I knit for. For this blanket though, I'll ask the mom if she would like a superwash blanket, and then I can make her something else. Or if not, then she can just have this one, and she'll have to be a little careful with it, I guess. Maybe it'll just be a pretty thing to hang on the back of a chair. Or for mom. Actually, that would be nice too. Yeah, and then this is living in my Zigzag Stitches bag. Perfect bag for a blanket or a sweater. In the beginning stages, it fits so far what I've done on the blanket and the 5 balls of yarn. Eventually I'll have to swap out for a bigger bag, but for now this one's perfect. Yeah, so also for that mom and baby, I'm making a little baby hat. This is using Debbie Bliss Cashmerino Magic Loop. Yeah, and I just the beginning of a ribbed hat here for a baby. I like this yarn, I like this color. I have lots of DK weight, perfect for baby knits kind of yarn in nice soft colors. So that's great. So this is just some of the yarn on these top 2 shelves here that I have. I have 2 more totes, a wall unit, and 2 bags under my bed full of yarn. So yeah, I will be featuring some of it on the shelf here behind me, but for now this is what I have. So another thing that's kind of cool that has happened was when I joined the Knitters Guild and I went to the meeting last week. They did a little prize thing. They do raffle prizes every month, so that's kind of cool because I might have some things in my large stash that I could destash and donate for that. I know I already have a couple books that I got, maybe a couple bags or other little notions, so I have some stuff I could donate that can be used for prizes that other people will love and cherish. Now, one of the things that I did get, though, at the Toronto Knitters Guild was I won a raffle prize, which was pretty cool. They had 4 prizes, and I won one. I really wasn't expecting to win anything, but I did. So I won 3 skeins of this Shetland, I think it's Shetland. It's just some pure wool, 100% pure new wool. It's by Taki Yarns, Dongel Tweed Homespun. No idea if I'm saying any of that right, but I know on Ravelry it does say that it's a discontinued yarn. So that's cool because I have 3 skeins now of it. So that's enough to make like a nice airy shawl or something like that. That'd be very nice. Yeah, so that's cool. And it also came in a nice bag from... So it came in a nice bag. So that was really cool. That wasn't the only thing I won. I also won, there was a speaker there and she had donated her mini skein set. And I won that too. And I couldn't believe it. There was only 4 prizes and a lot of people. So I was like, you know what? I got the yarn that I wanted because I have enough mini skeins. So I said, just give that prize to somebody else. So they drew again and someone else won. But my winning luck has been amazing lately, and you'll find out more. But at that Knitters Guild meeting, the maker from Songbird Yarn and Fibers was there, and she did a really cool demonstration. She dyes yarn based on birds and like photograph birds that she sees. She's a great bird watcher, and she dyes yarn based on the way that their colors are and the way that they look. So that's really cool. So I got Anna's hummingbird, and she had a sample of this knit up into socks, and it's really beautiful. It's not nearly as pink as it looks in the skein. It is pink, but it's little micro striping of pink with these natural earth tones and greens and neutrals and browns. But then I also got a mini skein for like cuffs and toes, and it's so cute. It's so pink, and it's called her mini skeins are called Baby Bird Minis, which is just the cutest thing ever to keep with her bird theme. So that was really cool. So that was Songbird Yarn and Fibers, and she did a great demonstration and talk about birds, and she was really cool to listen to. That was really neat. Yeah. So my knitting luck has been amazing lately. So there's a yarn store that opened up close by called the Knitting Loft, and they had their grand opening on a Sunday, and I'm off work on Sundays, so I dragged my dad and his girlfriend there, and I was so eager to go because they had a huge raffles and prizes and tons of stuff, and they had a huge grand prize. So I dragged them there thinking I'll never win, but hey, if I don't try, I won't know. So that was cool. So we went there, and they just have like the most beautiful yarn. They have stuff that's from all over the place, but a lot of things I've heard of from other podcasters or things that I've only seen like in the States or heard of in the States and then didn't want to pay the shipping to come over here. They had a lot of like hedgehog DK and hedgehog fibers worsted, which I had never seen in Toronto before. I've only ever seen the sock fingering weight and the merino singles, so that was pretty cool. So I didn't get any of the hedgehog, but I did get some other things. I got a sock ruler, great for toe-up socks, so I should probably make some toe-up socks for the first time. And I got some Farmer's Daughter First I thought this could be a nice brioche hat. It's like this dusty rose and this like really nice yellowy color. I thought that'd be good for brioche. But then I saw the beeswax hat. So I thought, you know what? That would be really nice with this the color's not really coming up. It's like a goldy color. It's really nice. So I got another skein of this. Somewhere I have another skein of this. So I don't really know now what I'll make. Probably be a hat. That was cool. And I got some other good stuff, but the main thing was I put lots of raffle tickets in there for everybody raffle prizes. So if you left a review, or if you liked them on social media, or posted on social media, you got to enter into a prize. So I had entered into a couple prizes, and I did win. And the owner of the shop, Maria, she did a live Instagram video, and she announced all the winners, and she drew the names right out of paper bags right there for the winners, and I won these Knitter's Pride marbles, US size 10 or 6 millimeters. They're beautiful. I do have some marble needles. I have a size US 6 that I use for all my hats if I'm doing size 6 hats. Yeah, so that was really cool. So I was really excited to win that. And then she did the grand prize, and she drew that live on Instagram. And I stayed work an extra hour so that I could watch the video, because I thought I'd be on the subway during the video. So I wanted to watch it live. So that was exciting. I had been thinking of this forever. And my coworkers knew, and everyone knew. I was like, I might win. I hope I win. How cool would that be if I won? I had put it out to the universe big time. And she was in the live chat, and she drew for the grand prize winner, and the way to win the grand prize was to buy anything in the store, and they were going to put the receipt number in a bag. And then so she pulled a receipt number, and when she announced it, her face just lit up, and she was like, oh my god, you guys, the person who won the grand prize is in the live chat. And I thought, okay, well, everyone in the live chat probably wants the grand prize, obviously, that's why they're watching. And then she said my name. I couldn't believe it. That girl literally had my number, like Maria had me. So I won the grand prize, and I went and I picked it up today. So the grand prize was this sweater by Clinton Hill, the Winslow sweater. It is stunning, and it is 100% cashmere. Such a beautiful sweater. And I also like that it shows all the colors there, because I was looking at the colors thinking, would I have wanted a different color? And no, I love this neutral camel color. I also love gray, but I have a lot of gray yarn, so I don't need another gray sweater quantities of yarn. The bright red would be way too bright, and I wouldn't want the black. So this neutral brown is perfect, and it's flattering, and it's beautiful. And I read through the pattern, and I think I can do it. It doesn't look too hard, but for someone who's only made baby sweaters, yeah, I don't know. But you know what? The owner of the store, Maria, her mother had knit the sweater and had it as a shop sample. So if I have any questions, I know I can always go back to the knitting loft and ask all my questions and bring it, and they want to be updated on my sweater progress anyway. So yeah. This beautiful color. So this is the Clinton Hill cashmere, the bespoke yarn, 100% cashmere made in Italy. It is 50 grams or 99 yards. It's so stunning, and I won 11 balls of it. Yeah. Crazy, I know. I screamed when I won. I was freaking out. And then the other thing I did is I bought this because I wasn't going to take it home, bare and empty. So I bought the Clinton Cashmere bag. Clinton Hill Cashmere Company bag. Yeah, I had heard about the bag on Christy Glass's Instagram or podcast when she interviewed her. And the bag's really nice. It's really roomy. And you have pockets here that you can put stuff in. I filled it up already with some yarn that I got from the Knitting Loft. So yeah, I'm really excited. So that's so cool. Another thing I got today at the Knitting Loft was I got some Sugar Bush Drizzle, some mohair, maybe hold it double, make a hat or something. This is in this like beautiful silvery color. I have a lot of speckled skeins of yarn, so that will probably be paired with that to make some type of fuzzy warm hat. I'll get around to it eventually. Part of the reason I picked this one is because I do love Sugar Bush, but it already comes caked up because this is something mohair that I don't want to cake and ball myself. I don't have a ball winder yet, but I do not want to be hand winding mohair. So I know I'll probably have to fix it along the way if it unravels, but at least we can be off to a good start with this. Yeah, and it was affordable and they have so many colors, so I know that if I need a new color, they'll have it for sure. So yeah, that was really cool. So I don't know when I'm going to start making this sweater. I think maybe January I might start making the WINSLOW sweater. If I can whip off a couple of hats, a baby blanket, maybe two baby blankets before the end of the year. Yeah, I'm so excited though. So everything goes back in my Clinton Hill bag for safekeeping until I can get to it. And I will keep you guys updated on the progress of my WINSLOW sweater. That will be my first ever sweater for me. I actually have the turtle dove sweater on the needles, but I haven't given it much love lately, but that has taken kind of a back seat while I try to finish the baby blanket. So the turtle dove sweater is by the ladies from Espace Tricot as well, and they recommend using Woolfolk Luft. And I got some yarn from Knit in Toronto, which if you join their mailing list, they have great sales. So they'll send you an email every once in a while. They send weekly newsletters, which I love. And then they also send you an email of all their sales coming up. So they kind of have these flash sales where they'll mention it or they'll announce it a couple days before or the day of. And when that happens, you just have to jump on it. So I know that they had Woolfolk Luft in their shop. And then the turtle dove pattern came out and it's so beautiful, and I just thought it's the warmest thing. It looked so wonderful. And Knit has the yarn that I needed, and they had enough for a sweater's quantity of not gray, because I already have 3 sweater quantities of gray yarn, but in this really nice light blue. I don't know if you can tell. This really beautiful light blue color. Yeah. So I'm a loose knitter, so I've gone down a needle size on these. But so far, this little turtleneck, everything has been to pattern. Got lots of balls of this. I probably have too much, which is not a bad thing. So yeah, I'm excited to also see how that turns out. But in the meantime, until I can finish some other projects and some things and maybe make some hats, my sweaters are gonna wait. This is also living in a zigzag stitches bag. I got it 2 years ago at the Toronto Knitters Frolic, so that's a beautiful bag too. I love the size of these, and they are on Etsy and they're right here in Ontario, so I love supporting somebody local, so that's cool. Yeah, so I don't really know what the plan is for this podcast, but I hope to maybe record an episode every month. maybe every 2 weeks if I can get some stuff done. Maybe I'll become a faster knitter. I don't know. I just know that I love knitting, and I'm so excited to watch other people's podcasts and meet that community online. So I just thought, why not put out my own? And here goes. If I can figure out how to put this on YouTube, then you will be watching it, and if not, maybe it'll be a couple weeks later than I originally recorded, but I hope it will be out there soon. And thanks so much for watching. Oh, and if you want to find me, I am Collette Knits on Ravelry and Collette Knits on Instagram. And that is COLLETTE Knits for both Ravelry and Instagram. So add me on those, shoot me a message or whatever. And thanks for watching and happy knitting.